Hey y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. You know, when we say black history is American history, we don't just mean the fun black stuff that has shaped American history. We also mean that the bad white stuff America has done to black people is also American history, and y'all don't like that. Y'all just like to tell the story that y'all want to tell, which is why y'all let a certain group of people tell the story they want to tell to 124 million viewers on that commercial last week during the Super Bowl. Now, do we want all fathers to be able to play football with their kids at home, safe and sound? Absolutely. But I thought y'all said politics has no place in sports. Oops, did I say the quiet part out loud? So how is it that whoever is over the Super Bowl commercial selection committee let that chopper sing with zero backlash, but Colin Kaepernick gets blackballed for taking a knee? Yeah, I'm taking it there. Because contrary to popular belief, sports and politics have had a very intimate relationship for decades now. Sporting events, garnering mass audiences, used as modalities to represent the culture of entire countries, have been used as stages to make political messages for some time now. Black athletes have used it time and time again. Bill Russell and the four other black boys from the Celtics in 1961 who refused to play Kentucky after they were refused service at a local restaurant. Billie Jean King, who started boycotting tennis matches in 1970 because they were awarding the men $12,500 for winning matches and only awarding women $1,500. What? Tommy Lee and John Carlos putting up the fist at the 1968 Olympics. But it's not just the blacks. In fact, before us, the Olympics in particular were used heavily by non-black countries to make political statements. Hitler tried to use the Olympics in 1936 to propagate the idea of the Aryan race. And y'all was very glad when 14 black athletes shot down that theory, led by record-breaking athlete Jesse Owens. The U.S. boycotted the 1980 Olympics because of the Cold War and the fact that Russia was invading Afghanistan. In fact, so many countries either withdrew from the games or others weren't even invited for decades because of one war or another, because participation in the games came to be viewed as the status of your nation's political legitimacy. The national anthem, a political symbol that was thrust upon American sports scores in a cult-like fashion after a bombing in Chicago during World War I. The Chicago Cubs had a game the next day and thought it would be nice to sing a little ditty to boost morale, and everybody else just took it and ran with it. But y'all mad they let Andre Day sing the black national anthem during Black History Month? So it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. And I know we all know why, but I just go ahead and say it anyway. It's because more often than not, the people that are setting the rules of decorum or the guidelines, policies, and even laws in this country are doing so with the understanding that it's really only the undesirables who have to follow the rules. You know, the blacks, the queers, the women. In savvily orchestrating their 500-year head start, they were able to ensure the complete monopoly on who makes the rules, who has to follow them, and what happens when undesirables don't. And not only is there some mean hypocrisy at play here, it's also just flat out a historical demand that we keep politics out of sports, like black people and others don't have a long-standing tradition in doing so. Muhammad Ali refused to enter the draft during the Vietnam War and said it was because he wasn't going 10,000 miles from home to help murder and burn another poor nation simply to continue the domination of white slave masters of the darker people the world over. Well, he said it, not me. And for this, he was jailed, fined, and barred from boxing for years. But draft-dodging Donald Trump became president. Just recently, the Democratic Republic of the Congo's national football team brought attention to the atrocities taking place in their country with a silent protest before their match in the Africa Cup, which is just about as big an event as the Super Bowl. And there was white backlash every step of the way. But these dancing goalposts just don't appear in sports. You'd be surprised, but then again, maybe not, at how many everyday rules, requirements, and systems and whole institutions are put into place in this country to simply keep black folks aggressive, oppressed, and right where they want us. Getting a college degree from a public college or university used to cost exactly zero monies. It was free 99. And as I've told you before, that's Ronald Reagan's fault. But in case you forgot, when he became governor in California during the civil rights movement, our activating ancestors were rightfully raising hell as students on college campuses everywhere. And Reagan was concerned with the rise of an educated class of Negroes, so he created tuition requirements to make college inaccessible to the working class. He said, and I quote, "It was his way to get rid of undesirables. So those who are there to carry signs and not to study might think twice." And by the time he became president, nearly all the formerly public schools were charging tuition. So hey, white working class, those of you currently mad at black kids that are in school taking it and getting the scholarships you wish you qualified for, you have Ronald Reagan to thank for making it cost money in the first place. A white lady on Fox News told LeBron James to shut up and dribble because she didn't want political advice from someone who gets paid to dribble a ball. Well, let me tell you something, Sue Ellen. You on your high horses could learn a thing or two from these athletes. These people are more connected to the people and qualified to speak on their behalf because they might have escaped the lower class by way of their talent, but there's no escaping the everyday laws, policies, and rules of decorum designed to fail the people that surround them every day. Goodness gracious, I say.